Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in an Airbnb? Our family has been living in Airbnbs for months now, and there are a few things you need to know if you're considering it for yourself. First, it can be awkward. There's a definite learning curve that happens when you live in an Airbnb. You're stepping into a completely new and different space, so it may take some time to learn how to use the thermostat, connect to the internet, or even use the TV. You may have to take a moment to find what you need in the kitchen. Living in an Airbnb definitely comes with a learning curve. And you'll almost always have at least one big bad surprise. We've stayed at many Airbnbs, and I've never checked into one without encountering at least one unpleasant surprise. Creative photography can hide a lot of flaws, and many listings are downright deceptive. Our first Airbnb in New Orleans was a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. Remember that?
Yeah.
We didn't read the description very carefully, so we didn't realize that the home was actually 2 homes being rented together. One was a 3-bedroom, the other was a 2-bedroom, and they were not connected, so you had to go outside to move between them. But even if you read the description carefully, you'll probably still encounter some surprises. For example, we checked into this Airbnb last week. The listing said, "Central air will keep you nice and cool in every room." Air conditioning was important to us, so we booked it. When we checked in, it was a blistering 93 degrees. I messaged the host and asked how to operate the central air. They responded quickly to let me know that the property didn't actually have central air. But don't worry, because there were air conditioning units in each of the closets in every bedroom, but they hadn't been set up yet. So they asked if we could set them up ourselves, and we did because it was too hot and miserable to refuse. I did tell the host that they should remove central air from their description, and they did, but that doesn't really help our family be more comfortable in the space, does it?
It doesn't.
How have you been liking your room in there with all the sunshine?
Well, it gets pretty bright at like 5 a.m.
I think it's hot real fast too, doesn't
Yeah.
it? How's that air conditioner doing?
We actually took it out of my room, but I leave my fan on all day.
How's that working for you?
It's
Is
still
yours
really
the one that
hot.
we put in the living room so we didn't all die?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's still really hot.
Ultimately, no matter how carefully you read the listing or look at the pictures, you're still committing money to stay in a place you've never seen before. Unlike hotel chains, which have pretty standard amenities and are fairly predictable, every Airbnb is a new and unique experience. The most beautiful furniture can also be the most uncomfortable. The most spacious looking room can actually be really small. It's amazing what people can do with photography tricks. You really have to be prepared for surprises when you're staying in an Airbnb. So if you can't adapt to the unexpected, then you probably shouldn't try to live in an Airbnb. When you're living in an Airbnb, you learn what's important really quickly. I thought we downsized a lot when we moved into our first Airbnb, but we continue to shed unnecessary belongings as we move between homes. Moving frequently gets tedious very quickly, so it's best to avoid packing anything that you can do without. How tired are you of packing up your crap?
Pretty tired.
Our essentials have been pared down to basic capsule wardrobes, my work equipment, the children's tablets, and just a few personal belongings each. With 7 people in our household, it's simply too much to tote more than that around to the different homes we've been staying in. But it gets easier with time. When we checked into our first long-term Airbnb where we were going to stay for months, I was so nervous. It probably didn't help that we were the first guests this particular Airbnb had ever had. Everything was in perfect condition, and we have 5 kids, so I was terrified that something awful was going to happen. But it didn't. We were in that home for 3 months, and they were some of the best months of our lives, yeah?
Yeah.
Loved that house, right?
Loved it. I even had a walk-in closet.
Yeah, you did. And the river, the swing.
And the baby ducks.
We all made memories in that house that were just fantastic. The idea of living in an Airbnb definitely gets easier over time. The longer we've stayed in Airbnbs, the more comfortable we've become. Airbnbs are lived-in spaces designed to be comfortable and welcoming. Once you understand that, it's a lot easier to relax and enjoy the space. Of course, that doesn't mean it's always easy. This is especially true if you're traveling with children. No offense. We've had a few accidents, haven't we?
Yeah. I was playing around in my room and I instantly knocked over a lamp even. It was a pretty tight bedroom here. But
And Sam broke that butter dish in the other house, right? But in every instance, we were able to quickly and easily locate a replacement online for $15 or less. Whenever possible, I favor replacing the item without bothering the host and just making sure that the home is taken care of. But once the novelty of living in an Airbnb wears off, it gets a bit tedious. My kids have experienced a wide variety of homes this year, some large and some tiny. We've had to adapt to new routines and new ways of doing things. Sometimes we've had enough space to have some breathing room, and sometimes everybody is underfoot. Moving frequently helps renew the novelty of it all, but it's also exhausting.
So, when we were in the Lion House, it was really great. I had a big bedroom, big walk-in closet. They had a pool table, a foosball table. It was really awesome. They even had a play set. It was like the best Airbnb we've stayed at.
We got to be there for months.
Yeah, we were there for like 3 months and it was just awesome. Every day we would have this family of baby ducks come by our house. It was the cutest thing ever.
How can little girls your age adapt to living in an Airbnb with the lots of brothers?
Well, you get a notebook and a pencil. I also love coloring. Coloring really helps with that, along with some art supplies. Yeah, we had to keep it all in our backpacks, and once we moved here, it was for a short time, so we had to end up putting our backpacks in the storage unit and cramming as much as we could in our luggage. And that's what we did for the Airbnbs when we moved here. It was really cool. I got to have my coloring book. My brother even let me use his pencils. So that was really awesome.
If you had to choose between living in Airbnbs for another year or getting an actual place of our own, what would you choose?
I like the adventure of Airbnbs, definitely. But like, they're unpredictable. They're really awesome. It's an amazing experience. Like, you never know what's coming next. It's just like this whole adventure by itself.
You'd like it better if we were traveling instead of staying in one town, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I just love traveling, so yeah, that really helps with the Airbnbs.
Be sure to watch our other videos for more information about what it's like to live in an Airbnb.